All right, PFTPM, 8 head coaching vacancies and counting possibly. Who knows with the National Football League? 25% of the league looking for new coaches. No one hired yet. My understanding, Mike, everyone is taking their time this year, and I think that's good. That's wise. I think they should take their time. I'm going to be interested to see what happens once one team hires a guy. Is that going to get the dominoes falling faster than they should? I think these teams should take their time. They seem to be committed to it. There are issues with the timing. I don't like it when guys are being interviewed for a head coaching job when they still have work to do with their current job. It becomes an unavoidable distraction that consumes their life in a variety of ways, but this is the system that we have, Mike, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change. No. All we can hope for is that the individual teams choose to take their time.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it is difficult to be interviewing because the interview process of people that don't know, I mean, you're sitting there for hours with being interviewed. So, and that's taking away, if you're still in the playoffs, a time to be preparing because we know how coaches are. And I do hope they're patient because this is such a 180 from the college game where when they move the signing period from February to the early signing period in December, that made colleges make changes even quicker. So you saw the Brian Kellys and Lincoln Rileys, ditching really quick right after the season. And I get it because they need to get to their new school before the early signing period in December. But it pushes the wheel a little too fast. It could screw things up. So patience is a lot better. But to your point, and you're right, because a lot of the same people, and you'll know this better than me, are being interviewed for a lot of the jobs. So where does the first domino fall? Who strikes the first deal? Is there, and I'd like to ask you, is there the one hot candidate that everybody is looking to hire first? I haven't got a feel for that. You would better than me. And everybody waiting maybe to see where that guy's goes before the dominoes start to fall.
Well, I think Brian Flores right now is the guy in the most demand, the former Dolphins coach. The Bears, the Texans, and the Giants are expected to interview him at some point as well. But he's committed to going very slowly because he knows after being fired, even though I don't think it was on him, by the Dolphins last week, he has to make a good choice this time. He has to know the people he's dealing with. He has to be very deliberate, and he has to be very careful. And if someone's pushing him to make a decision sooner than he wants to, fine. My decision is no. No, thank you. I'll go somewhere else. But, it's like anything else, whether it's looking for a house, looking for a car. If there's a model that you want and you find out that it's just been sold off the showroom floor and there's another one that you like, what are you more likely to do, Mike? You're more likely to say, well, I already lost the first one I wanted. I ain't losing the second one.
Well, listen, and that's what happens. Again, I go to college and you go to the NFL. Sometimes the NFL, the team gets the third or fourth choice that they wanted because, again, a lot of the same names are in the hat. And this was always been the amazing thing to me, Mike, is, last year when all these coordinators were hired, they were all coordinators, first-time head coaches, save for Urban Meyer, who was a head coach in college, and we see how that turned out. But they were all coordinators, and everybody was kind of grading, this guy's going to do this or that. And I remember being asked, and I said, how the hell do we know? They were part of a company where they ran one department, the offensive side or the defensive side or the special teams. And then the next day you're hiring them and they are sitting in the big chair where they're answering every question. Hey, coach, what kind of toilet paper should be in the bathrooms? I mean, every single question now is coming to them, something they never had to deal with before. So they can prepare for it all they want. They can have their list of coaches that they want to bring in, but we have no idea how they're going to react when they become a head coach. The best coordinator I ever played for was Bud Carson. When Bud Carson, I even had talks with him when he became a head coach. He just said, it just wasn't for him. It didn't work. He was a better coordinator. But when you're a great coordinator, you're going to get a chance to be a head coach, but it's still a crapshoot of how you're going to be when you become the CEO of that team and sit in the big chair. So that to me has always been a very interesting thing. It looks like he's going to fit it's going to fit really well with this team. But then you get there and you're like, wow, I wonder why that didn't work. Sometimes, you just don't know.
That's the challenge. That's the projection that teams have to make, especially for guys who have never been head coaches. Great coordinator. Will he be a great coach? Tony Dungy tells a great story. When he became the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somebody came to his office and said, when we play wherever it was in the preseason, what hotel do you want to stay in? He said, why are you asking me? Well, you're the head coach. It's your decision. So just one small example of how dramatically different the existence is when you become an NFL head coach.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.